Okay.
Alright, good evening, good morning, or afternoon. We are here with the NotA Winter Tournament. We are casting YoungHawks versus Snackers. And we're here with the draft phase. I have with me today co-caster Madsen. And we're going to see the OD band immediately.
Yeah, strong hero this match should... For teams that don't know how to exactly deal with it, it's a pretty safe first ban, alongside some other mid heroes like
like Invoker that just got taken out.
Yeah.
His laning stage is insane now with having the Invoke level 1. It's so OP.
Yeah, I think this is one of the first times that a mid hero actually cannot be beaten in lane. You can trade equally with him, you can maybe get something out of that lane, but probably not kills unless you get a lot of rotation.
We're also going to see the Lanaya band out, as well as the Tusk. Not sure exactly why they want to take the Templar Assassin out necessarily, but...
Again, with mid heroes, there's always that element of, we've faced this hero, we now realize we can't deal with it properly, and that's one of the factors that goes into play in tournaments like these. And the other one is simply, okay, this team might have a good Lanaya player, so we're just gonna ban that out as to not have to worry about it.
We're gonna see the Death Prophet picked up, though, with her Spirit Siphon. Really, really strong this patch, as well as the Vengeful Spirit, who's gotten a lot of play, especially with the Aether Lens extending her range.
I actually think the more interesting development for the Vengeful Spirit in this patch has been seeing her played as a core more than a support, even with the Aether Lens and some other things that make her a better support. I think she's a very good core for this playstyle of Death Ball and punishing team fights by pushing and taking objectives, which she's probably one of the best cores at.
Reserve time.
Agreed. Right now with the Death Ball meta, really strong hero early, especially, you know, she's got a really nice de-armament buff, plus the fact she's got a hard targeted stun. And the aura, of course, is great for pushing. I really like... Have you picked up Ags on her yet?
I haven't, mostly because we've played her in more of a core role, and I think that's probably one of the best parts about the hero, is just the versatility of it. You can use it basically as any role other than probably like a solo offlane. But Ag's probably one of the better items for a lower farm priority bench right now.
Dire team banned.
They're gonna pick up a Spirit Breaker, looking for some early ganks. I wonder if they're gonna run that as a roaming Spirit Breaker or what. And again, they're gonna ban out the Drow Ranger. I guess they're worried that they're gonna try to go for an Aura strat, considering both of them are ranged here.
Yeah, the Spirit Breaker, he's one of those heroes who can traditionally deal with some of these mid heroes that, while they might be known to dominate lane, it's sometimes very easy to shut them down pretty early. So heroes like Razors and Shadow Fiends, even Invokers, Death Prophets, they can all get shut down pretty easily if the correct early rotations are made, and they just can't get that first little bit of advantage they need to get really going in that lane.
Yeah, I think I was casting with Thrash the other night, and he said, you know, one of the big things with Death Prophet is that if you gank her repeatedly early, she has a very difficult time coming back.
Yeah. Especially now with nerfs to jungling with heroes like Death Prophet, with the extra magic resistance, and overall, I think her catch-up potential, while it might be slightly lowered, it's still a very hard hero to shut down completely, because she can just very reliably take structures and other objectives, Roshan towers with that really, really good ulti.
Radiant team banned.
An interesting choice that they're going to ban out the Dazzle here. I'm wondering if they just don't want to see a lot of healing come out, or like if there's something very specific, like they're going to try to go at Legion Commander.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, Dazzle is one of those picks that's safe to ban, I guess, especially in the last few patches. It's been a very, very contested pick. Maybe a bit less so this patch, when nerfs to Grieve mostly, but it's one of those heroes that can still, if properly just very extended teams lead very, very far.
Team pick.
Well, Dazzle's just a great pickup in general anyways, because he does have that heal. He's got, the weave, which can either add or take away armor, and then also, poison touch now with the new buff really makes the opponents run through the region and lane pretty quickly. Interesting that they picked up the Darkseer right away here, just because we don't see much right-click on board, and we also don't know what kind of a carry they're thinking about going over on YoungHawks. Obviously, Darkseer would have an easier time, or not even easier time, but you get maximum potential out of him if they have a melee carry. This is kind of showing them their cards right now, but I guess they're trying to save their last picks, obviously, for their mid and their hard carry.
5
Rather, not mid.
seconds
They already have the
remaining.
mid. What am I talking about? I'm not sure why they picked the Darkseer up this early.
Reserve time.
Well, Darkseer in general, one of those heroes who can very easily combo with a lot of others, and I think Magnus and Darkseer are very specific in what their big lockdown teamfight abilities do. And they allow for some very interesting plays and strats around
Radiant team
those
pick.
exact abilities, so the vacuum RP, and I think it's no big surprise to see him picked up here.
Well, I'm wondering if what they're thinking is they're going to vacuum the team and then have Death Prophet just use the AoE ult on top of, whatever else they're planning. Interesting to note that they have not banned out a Gyrocopter yet, which would be a nice wombo combo if they decide to go with it with the Darkseer and the Death Prophet here. I've been seeing a lot of that lately.
Dire team.
And a lucky Ogre getting picked up here.
That's a nice pick. I like that. I think people definitely kind of underrate Ogre, mostly because I think most of them see the hero slightly misplayed. He's really tanky, and he really needs to make advantage of how strong he is in that super early phase. So if we see them do that, I think the Ogre pick will be a successful one.
And then what do you think about this Lena
5
here? Are we going to
seconds
see a Lena
remaining.
mid trying to, outrange the Death Prophet, or is that going to be more of a
Reserve
support Lena?
time.
Depends. First of all, if they have a mid player who understands how Lena works in that lane, then it's probably going to be a mid Lena, because a mid Lena against a Death Prophet, which she does a lot of things that make the time that a Death Prophet has in lane very hard. First of all, she can't just walk up to you, Spirit Siphon you, which is what Death Prophet really likes to do in the current patch. But with Lena's huge range, she never really needs to get that close to enable the Lena to do that. So if they play it mid, it's probably going to be pretty successful.
I'm thinking too, a Spirit Breaker decides to come in for an early gank on that Death Prophet. Once he hits, she can probably throw out her Light Strike array and they can just nuke her down pretty quickly.
10
So
seconds
right now
remaining.
it's definitely looking like Alina mid.
Yeah.
And there's a Gyrocopter ban right there. They don't want to see that wombo combo. So now what are they going to do for their hard carry? Any guesses? Anything that you think would be particularly...
Well, I think
Perfect
they
plan.
have a very, I think they have a very open draft right now, because they have the Vengeful Spirit, which, as I said, is a very versatile hero right now, and she can be played very successfully. Oh
Oh,
boy,
Lone Druid, nice.
Dire team pick.
that I like to see that. I don't think we get to see Lone Druid in, I guess, a bit of a lower MMR range, so it's very interesting to see how they do with the hero right here, and I think he's really strong against some of the enemy heroes, like the Undying and the Lena even.
And it looks like the YoungHawks still need their hard carry here, so what are they going to
10
pick?
seconds remaining.
I think some of the more standard picks, the ones we see very often in the safe lane, are pretty good
Oh, we're
bets
going
for
to see a
them.
Luna. Ooh.
Wow.
A
Okay,
lot of
that-
early game here over on YoungHawks.
Yeah, I think they have this moment where they're very much so on a timer, and
We've already got a disconnect.
understandable.
Oh, NotA games. We are pro game now. Well, let me introduce the teams anyway. So welcome back again. This is the NotA Winter Tournament. We have today the Snackers versus YoungHawks. We've already got two people who have disconnected over on YoungHawks. But why don't we introduce the Radiant then here. Over on the Snackers, we have Civ, who will be playing the Ogre Magi. Diaspor will be playing Vengeful Spirit. DX Penguin Man will be playing our Darkseer. Die will be playing the Mid-Death Prophet. And Vanadium will be playing our Lone Druid. Over on the Dire, we have Travesty playing the Disruptor. We have Han Yolo playing Spirit Breaker. Highfly will be playing the Lena. Tonight's Tonight will be playing Aluna. And I Am Not Gay will be playing the Undying here. So it looks like both teams are able to get... No, okay, there's still some problems going on with the connections. I am Moxie. I am casting with Madsen today. Say hi, Madsen. I think Madsen's dead. Alright, rip. A little bit of all chat banter coming in. Oh, there you are.
Sorry, bit of Discord technical difficulties.
That's right.
I'm fine. I'm alive.
And we're still having some connection issues right now.
Yep. But I think that gives us some time to talk about some of the picks, and I think we've had some very interesting last picks here with the Luna and the Syllabear. They're somewhat unexpected, and I think some very standard and some very expected heroes have been somewhat skipped out on.
Oh, there were a lot of bans, though. A lot of the bans in the standard heroes that you would normally say, like the OD was taken out, the Invoker was taken out, stuff that's fairly common in the meta. Nope, Tusk pickup. I don't think Tusk was banned, though. I don't remember. No, I think he was, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vovol Tuesday. I'm not sure what they decided to play on Tuesday. Patch night is always really a pain in the butt. We're all gonna lose connection. I like looking at all their hats while we're waiting. Oh, looks like we're going then. Alright.
Dire makeup for some people not having hats with the Lena Arcana though.
Alright, so it looks like we're gonna see... Looks like Ogre's gonna be
Dual
going...
off lane.
Yeah, top lane.
I like that. I think that's probably as close as they can get to correctly playing the hero right now in this match. They have the Darkseer, which combined with the slow and the stun on the Ogre, and the Ion Shell and the haste on Darkseer makes for a very high kill potential lane, although they might face some trouble going up against an Undying who is somewhat tanky, but their two heroes shouldn't probably be too much trouble.
I don't think you want to try. I don't think you want to try going on a lane that has an Undying in it. The only person who can really get away decently would be DX Penguin with Surge, but Civ will die if they are tri-laning. And we're gonna see Disruptor moving forward a little bit, and they're camping out on this rune. Looks like bottom's easily going to be able to go to the Radiant, though. Looks like Vanadium will be able to pick that up. But top, I wonder if we're going to see some first blood.
I actually think they're going to let...
going forward.
Oh boy, I think this
they're going to back off. He's going to throw out a pop shot, and he's just going to peace out. He does not want to do that. Luna actually going to pick up the rune. Instead of Luna.
I think we would have seen first blood if the Disruptor had held his skill point and gotten a glimpse when he saw that there would be people coming in instead of the kinetic field. At that point, they just have the Luna Aura and the Lena stun, and it's pretty easy to get a first blood there.
And it actually looks like we're going to see the Undying going off lane with Han Yolo here on the Spirit Breaker. So they're thinking about possibly diving. Top lane now has more kill potential. Throwing out the Ion Shell. Civ, no fear, running forward, does have a Mango on him. Bot lane.
Now this gets very interesting. This is all about playing carefully in the lane and not overextending, because both of these dual off lanes have quite a bit of kill potential right now, and I think we're gonna see some somewhat early game kills.
And we're seeing that Death Prophet right now in the lead, Relief with mid, not by much, only by 1 CS here, but definitely taking... they're just nuking each other down here. It's pretty funny, actually. Vengeful Spirit, actually... oh no, I can't click on anything. Hold on. Alright, there we go. Oh, top lane. Luna only sitting at 2 CS currently. DX Pegaman just throwing on ion shells. They're harassing quite a bit here.
Yeah, this is one of those games where if some of these safe laners aren't punished enough, with which they should be, considering the dual off lanes that we see here, it's going to be very tough for them. It's going to be very tough to actually fight into them, because again, both of these teams are on somewhat of a timer. They have teams that don't really fight super well past the early to mid game, with some exceptions if they do really manage to play a team fight very close to perfect. But otherwise, it's I think we're going to be seeing a relatively short game here, depending on how early goes.
And Vengeful Spirit has noticed the fact that this camp seems to be... It's not actually blocked here. It's going to be blocked for stacking, though. I'm not sure if she tried to stack. Had a sentry ward coming out to her.
I'm actually pretty sure that that doesn't stack at all, and I think it was a pretty recent update that changed it. And I think now the line is like very unintuitive, and it's not, and it's like right under the...
Well, she's gonna go try to deward it either way here. Yeah, she's gonna... trying to look for it. Should be able to see it, though. Yep, there it is.
In any case,
she was trying to stack it, and obviously did not work out. So, oh, we got a little bit of a skirmish top. Shit. Trying to go on Luna. They're gonna run her down here with the ion shell. Oh, he's gonna chase after her. It's gonna be first blood over onto Nice Tonight. Luna's gonna fall here. And DX Penguin, he's gonna go ahead and try to pop his Fairy Fire, which he's able to do. He needs to be careful here. Though Sip's coming up, he's gonna try to back him up. He does have the stun.
This is like
and he does not have... They're gonna try to go back in. They're coming back in with a solve. Then they're gonna be able to clean up. 2 kills in top lane.
Yeah,
nicely done.
This is exactly what I was talking about with the potential of the Ogre Magi. He's such a tanky hero, and it's very hard to punish him for diving you and trading with you.
I think if the Undying had gone top, if they had tri-laned that, it would have been a little bit more difficult for them, just because, you know, the power of the Tombstone is so strong at early levels. I'm interested that, you know, you've got Spirit Breaker down here. He is hit level 3, isn't going in for any sort of a gank, unless he's waiting for Lina to hit her 6. And she is going to pick up an Invis rune down here, and she's going to start heading bottom. Might be able to spot out Diaspora here if they're not careful.
Can she do it with such a limited mana pool?
No, but they're going to try to go on Vanadium here. And he's already going to call out the fact that, you know, it looks like Lina's missing, that people
Lina might have walked through a sentry ward. She walked through the sentry ward definitely, but it's a matter of did the Venge
if they
see
know
her or
she's
not.
still there, yeah. And she's just in the TP back mid.
Middle.
And we do see that Luna's sitting at level 4, whereas our Darkseer here is sitting at level 5. They're out-leveling the top lane right now, considering they got the kill. Oh wow, Death Prophet going in for a kill, trying to go and get the last hit on Lina. Not going to be able to do it, she's going to be able to bottle up. Very close there. And her bottle's empty though, as is Death Prophet. Still has a Fairy Fire on her though. And right now, Lina leading in CS with 22-1, followed closely by Lone Druid and Darkseer.
I think that's kind of the scary part for Dire right now. Their Lina is the only hero that's in the top 3 as far as net worth is concerned on their team.
Top lane, they're trying to go on them again. Civ chasing forward. Oh, trying to go in for the final hit. Not going to be able to do it. The burn damage coming out. Here comes the Undying, trying to punish them for coming up here for the dive. And that was a good TP, good rotation. Otherwise, I think they might still have gone for it.
I'm pretty sure that was about as close as Luna can cut it with the Lucent Beam to cancel that Fire Blast mid-animation.
I know, that was very well played coming out from Tonight's Tonight.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But again, you just have both the Ogre and the Darkseer again on full HP with a Mango, a Soul Ring, Arcane Boots in the lane to go. They can just keep on doing this until they get heavily punished for it. Which, if the Dire don't react somewhat soon, I don't think they can be.
And Sip's gonna back off here. I think that's the right call. And Luna does have her Boots of Speed and the Ring of Aquila here. So, you know, oh, they're just, wow, Civ being a little ballsy here. Needs to be careful. It's only got one stack of decay on him, though, luckily. And Lena's actually gonna have to go all the way back to the well? Wow. Die High sitting at level 7.
To be fair, the Death Prophet did have to do that just a minute ago, so...
No, they're trading a lot of
back to
nukes.
lane with... Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see if Die High's gonna try to take the tower here using his 6. Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and pop Exorcism. And Lena's gonna TP. She does have Laguna Blade up. So Death Prophet has to be a little bit careful here. Gonna throw out that nuke. Try to clean out this creep wave. Top lane.
I think we might see a skirmish.
Somebody, oh, it was one of the casters. Disconnected, came back in. Okay, here comes Undying. They're gonna throw out the cage, throw a stack of decay out. Here comes the Tombstone. Tombstone coming up, and here comes the wall as well. DX Penguin Man's gonna be able to surge himself out. They're gonna glimpse him back though, and they're able to clean him up with the Lucent Beam.
Well played by the Dire. The Disruptor managed to get off the kinetic field without needing to use the glimpse, so that he had the glimpse for after he got out of the kinetic field is super important here, considering how very tanky both the heroes in this lane are with their levels.
Bot lane, Lena's gonna be able to find herself a regen rune, which is gonna be pretty good for her, considering. We're gonna see some rotations coming over into the mid. I think they're trying to go bottom, though, at this point. And Spiritbreaker's sitting at level 5. He does have his boots, trying to go for an urn. Civ just running up and trying to harass Luna again.
It's very little the Luna can actually do about it. The nukes, they just seem so very insignificant next to Ogre's huge HP pool.
I'm not sure
I think it's very interesting.
Lena's been spamming a lot of her spells, and she's not going for last hits using her. She's only got 1 point in Fiery Soul. I'm not sure if she did that on purpose before, or... Because she's running through her mana pretty fast.
She did get a regen, so it wasn't a huge issue for her, but
That's
I think right now, after pushing out the way with the nukes, she got the lane equilibrium back, but she left the lane to get Arcane Boots, which I don't think was the call. I think she needs to sit in and get that experience, because when you're playing against the Death Prophet, leaving the lane does two things.
She's coming
First,
bot down
giving
here.
her
We're gonna see a
extra
skirmish
levels.
happen. They're gonna go on Diaspora here. They're gonna go ahead and bash her right away. Here comes Lena. Lena coming in, trying to get the stun off. They're gonna glimpse her, get the Laguna Blade off. Gonna get the last hit there. And Vanadium's in a little bit of trouble here as well. They were putting a lot of pressure down here, though there's 4 of them. Meanwhile, top Luna's actually in a little bit of trouble. Civ's running away. Oh, she's gonna be able to clean up that.
That's very important. That is very important for Dire. I don't think that the Luna should be able to win that fight like that.
I'm not sure what happened with the Darkseer, if Darkseer died or went home or what have you, but... And they're,
In the meantime, Death Prophet did take that tower mid.
She's coming back down with the Exorcism here. Doesn't have a lot of mana left over. It does have the mana boost though. And they're just gonna force them back. So space created, I suppose?
That's created. I think that's...
Able to take a tower?
Probably the best... That's about the best you can expect from leaving your mid lane when you have a Death Prophet going against you.
Yeah,
so
they
she's
left
gonna probably
Diaspora.
take a tower. She's gonna take the tower. That's going to happen sooner or later. But the Lena managed to get a tower, or well, she managed to get a kill out of that.
It's a kill on a support,
and
though,
I think
too.
that's... Yeah, but it's a kill nonetheless, and I think it's worth it simply because A, they're getting kills, and B, they're pushing the enemy safe laner, while their safe laner is somehow
getting free farm on top now, yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This bear's just gonna rip through the tower, though. Look at him go.
Structures are fortified.
The push coming out
think
here
it's
from
gonna be-
Snackers is very, very strong. And Civ's gonna get pointed out here.
Bottom tower has fallen.
They're gonna be able. That's 2 towers now taken for the Radiant.
Tower is under attack.
They've got the Dire kind of on the offensive right now. Lena does
think it's
not
gonna
have
be-
enough mana for her Laguna Blade or like her full combo. Top lane though, Luna's putting some chip damage on the tower here. Behind on her
She's
farm
gonna back away
though.
right in time. Yeah, she
Oh,
did
and
have
Diaspora
something.
has a haste. They're looking for, Oh, Luna's gonna notice that, though, because she's got the ward over here, and she's just gonna TP out. She doesn't want anything to do with that.
I think it's going to be very important for this game and how
And they
it
can take
develops.
another tower here. They've got Exorcism up to 15. And plus the fact that Bear just
I
chips
think
through
it's
so
very
fast.
important how everyone itemizes, especially the cores, considering that if the Silver Bear goes too late, if the Luna goes too late, even the Death Prophet and the Lena, if they itemize for a bit of a later period, then the one
I don't think
that-
either team
that
wants to
should
go
win.
late, honestly, though.
Yeah.
I think, like, right now, they do have the Death Prophet Exorcism. I think they're going to go on this tower. They're just going to keep pushing. And they're not going to back off. They have Exorcism. There's no reason for them to back off here. Plus, they've got the Bear.
Definitely.
They've got the Venge Aura. Like, this Luna.
That's a free T2.
This Luna only has Treads and Aquila. Like, she can't do anything. She's got her ultimate, but it's only level 1.
That's not enough.
I feel
to
like
hold off
she's
the
yelling
push.
at team, like, team, guys, they're taking her tier 2. We should do something about this. But they're just going to be able to take it here. And they're going to move back.
Yep.
Now, it looks like the Lena's going to be going for the Yules here. Only has 2 pieces of it so far. And this ward is going to spot out, you know, that they're moving around. Gonna try to go on the Lone Druid here.
Oh,
We're in a little bit of
if
a
I get
pickle
the skill
here.
on the Lone.
Got the Decay. The team's coming back in, though. They might have to be careful. Although, oh, the Bear getting a root. Very, very nice. Here comes the Darkseer. Darkseer's gonna throw up the wall. He's gonna throw up the... Oh, wow, look at that vacuum. Almost enough to do it. Here comes the Tombstone. YoungHawk is in trouble here. That's 2 kills for for the Snackers. Luna's gone
There's
down,
so
and
much
so
damage
has...
coming out from that one hero, actually, with the vacuum wall, that I don't think they were able to do really anything in
And they're
response.
gonna go right
because
over for mid, I think.
it is way too early for anyone to have a mech or anything like that on the Dire. There's just nothing they can do against a team fight like that.
Lena does have Laguna Blade up, but... Death Prophet ulti's gonna heal her up quite a bit here. Civ. Civ just casually walking through mid.
No, it's very hard to punish him for that.
Oh, but he's really out of position
This
here. He
might
has to
be
be so
easier to
careful!
punish.
Civ, what are you doing? We've got the Spear Breaker just walking behind him, just hitting him a couple times, which is kind of interesting then she used to do that. There's the charge. Gonna throw the Decay out. Here comes the Lena coming in as well. Laguna Blade, and they're gonna be able to clean up Civ. That's a dead Ogre, unfortunately. Not lucky Ogre. And they're pinging Lena. And pinging
think
out the
that was
fact
even-
that they have a sentry over here.
That was even kind of a late response to the Ogre just walking up to their secret shop like that.
I think Spearbreaker just wasn't sure if he should go in on it or not, because he didn't know exactly who else was around that area, playing it a little bit safe, but...
Sure.
And Luna's got to catch up here. Luna's sitting on Treads and Aquila and one. Okay, there we go. She's picked up her Morbid Mask at least, which will make juggling a little bit easier for her. Spearbreaker has completed his Treads and his Urn.
I think the main item pickup to note right now is that Darkseer is now out of the fountain with a completed mechanism.
We're seeing a Yules come out for the Lena too.
Huge. Yeah, the Yules coming out for the Lena. Good for pickoffs, but I don't think pickoffs is the name of the game for the Dire right now.
No, they're definitely 5-manning.
With the smech on the Darkseer on Radiant, it's just gonna be some slow pushes like these, and then they just reach the tower, and once they pop the Exorcism, they have mech to pop. What did they really do?
Well, it's one of those things where
Also-
like Luna just really isn't.
Also to note, Midas is up on the bear.
Yep.
Please use
Luna
it.
just really isn't
Okay,
ready to
no.
fight at this point. They've got a lot of lockdown for her. They've got 2 targeted stuns. They've got, you know, the physical damage coming in from the deep heal.
Use chemistry guy, use your Midas.
And we're gonna see Luna TP bottom here. She does have her ultimate available. Again, it is only level 1, and the Darkseer is actually being charged from across the map.
Tower is under attack.
Immediately gonna
This
spot
is-
out the Undying, trying to nuke him down, pushing him back. Again, still being charged. And they're gonna
We saw
back
a
off a
situation
little
at
bit. They're
top.
running in. They know something's up. Here comes the glimpse coming out
This
on
is gonna be
Die-High.
chaotic
Die-High's
fight.
in a little bit of trouble. Gonna be able to get Yules himself up here. Can't get his ulti off though. Gonna get Yules again. Oh, but that's a dead die high. There goes.
that's-
And, oh, she popped Exorcism too. They actually managed to bring Exorcism down. Trying to go forward here. Running after the Lena, trying to finish her off. Ooh, almost. Is the bear gonna get her? Bear's gonna be able to take her down here. They've already lost like 2 people here though. They've lost the Darkseer. Sivzin really low. Oh no, there goes the Lone Druid. Diaspora trying really hard to get something else done here. It's gonna have to run. Gonna get glimpsed back. Is not gonna be able to get out of this alive. So that's a great fight for YoungHawks there. And that's gonna help Luna out a lot. Yeah, there's the completed Helm of the Dominator. She has enough too. She can go ahead and pick up her Blade of Alacrity for her Yasha, or if she feels like going BKB. I would prefer to see her go Yasha personally, just so she can have some faster farming, but...
Yeah.
And
So
she
looking
is going to
back
go
on it,
BKB though.
a
She's
couple
got
of-
the Ogre Club.
A couple of key factors in that team fight. The first thing, the glimpse back on the Death Prophet, which caught her off guard, and then a very fast static storm drop, which didn't allow the Death Prophet to get her Exorcism out before she got used by the Lena. And then after that, she was silenced, used herself. After that, when she came down, she wasn't silenced anymore. She used her Exorcism, but at that point she was at maybe 10% HP and just died. And that's one huge ulti that the Radiant didn't have during that fight, and I think that was very defining in that sequence.
So it looks
The
like...
mech getting started by Undying.
Yeah, and
He's
Disruptor's
actually
going
getting
for a
pretty
pipe
close.
here.
I think that fight was pretty big, both in terms of
Now, if you look at the graphs,
net
if
worth?
you go ahead and pull
Yeah.
up the experience earned in like the net worth, you see it start to
was
shift back down
big.
again. Like that was exactly the team fight that they needed there to kind of
those-
catch up.
there's 2 factors to why that was so big. Not only the resources that they regained from that, but also the fact that not only did they gain, but it's more that they took from the Radiant, because their team is very strong at this point in the game, and it's we can say pretty reliant on just snowballing further to finish the game relatively early, even though they do have some late game potential.
And now they have Exorcism
But-
back up. She also has a Haste Rune bottled over on the DP as well. They're gonna go for this tower again. They know that the other... Oh, here we go. We're coming in right on the Death Prophet, just trying to focus her down. Gonna get Science, gonna be able to get out of the cage though. Still has the Exorcism up, can choose to pop it. Gonna Spirit Siphon first, gonna get bashed in. Oh no, here comes the Death Prophet ulti. They're gonna go and throw out all the ghosts. Gonna be able to clean up the Lena. Keep going forward here. Luna already using her ulti. Trying to go and just chop down that tombstone here, so it's less of a problem because poor Diaspora is getting eaten up by all of these zombies, and they're going to be able to go and throw onto the tower here. That was a good fight coming out from Snackers, especially, you know, they had the ultimate back up pretty quickly, and they knew immediately, we got to go do this again.
Yep, definitely. I think again the Death Prophet being
And they're still going, they're pushing
by the
forward.
static storm. Yeah, she still has no.
Now it's going to go
Actually,
down now.
Exorcism coming back.
The swap's gonna come out over onto the Luna. They're gonna try to go on Luna. They've got
that's
the
a
silence
good
out. There comes the they're charging in. Going out on Diaspora.
Great
Need to be
choice.
careful here. They do not have the ultimate here. Trying to Spirit Siphon off of Hanyolo. Gonna be able to clean up Hanyolo. Very nicely done there. Diaspora in a little bit of trouble trying to run. Does have an urn on her. Luna, they're just gonna back out here. Death Prophet is totally out of mana at this point. We're able to clean up that Civ. We're able to clean up the Spirit Breaker though. And now I think they're just going to back off until they can have the Death Prophet ulti again.
Radiant overextending slightly after getting that T2, but they get away with minimal losses and only the Spirit Bear dying and possibly the Ogre. But yeah, in the end, that team fight wasn't super detrimental to them as one might have thought it would be, considering they were fighting into high ground without a lot of their ultis, actually.
I mean, it's 20 minutes in, and we're already seeing, like, almost all of the Dire Towers are just... The outer towers, anyways, are gone. There's just the one standing in mid here. And they're just really making use of, taking that early game advantage.
Yeah, that's just the power of having heroes like the Lone Druid, who almost has his Radiance completed by now. Very, very close to it. One more creep or two. Having the Lone Druid and his huge tower damage, having the Exorcism, and mostly having
Guardian
the
Greaves
vacuum
coming out
wall.
here.
vacuum wall and the mech, and now the Guardian Greaves on the Darks here. That just all makes for a very easy to fight with relatively early to mid game team. So if they just keep pushing their advantage and basing themselves around key items and key cooldowns, I think they should be looking to win this game. But you never know.
Interesting to know too that the Death Prophets opt to go for a BKB next item.
I think that's pretty wise, I guess, for considering that.
But she's getting Spearbreaker charged, and that Laguna Blade currently, they can't go. She does not have axe.
I think the biggest issue is the Disruptor and how she limits her movement and how she limits her ulti usage. And I think the biggest teamfight loss. They're
gonna smoke over here on the Dire. They're gonna try to go wrap around, see if they can get a kill. They do have Luna ulti available. They do have Lina ulti available. They've got all their ultis, and they're thinking about just trying to catch them out here. Need to be careful. Oh, they're gonna go and charge in on the DP now. This is a great setup. They're gonna come in right now with the Luna ulti. Gonna throw in the Disruptor ulti. Gonna immediately clean her up. Ziv's in a bit of trouble here. They're gonna throw out the wall. DX Penguin also in trouble. Lina trying to clean him up here. Has not. Oh, almost gonna be able to clean up. Oh, Lina's in a lot of trouble though. Probably gonna fall here. Yeah, there's gonna be the magic missile coming out. And Diaspora,
so much work in this fight.
They're trying to run alongside the wall here so they can not get copies made of themselves. Oh, being able to bring him right back in, but he's going to be able to run away.
Saved by the glimpse, actually.
Yeah.
I think Luna using a Q, and that's the Dark Ship.
And now she's going to have a completed BKB coming out for the Luna. Although Civ coming forward here, wants to go in the Undying. A lot of damage happening. Gonna throw that out. Gonna be immediately charged. Oh, he's gonna be able to heal himself there. Might not be able to get away though. Oh, he misses the Crypt Swarm. Civ running for him, trying to get him. Gonna get Yules. Gonna immediately. Oh, he misses it again! Multicast coming out, and they're gonna be able to clean him up. What a chase.
No one saw that.
And Spearbreaker sitting in trees. And I guess they can't see him? No, they can't actually see him. He is getting Radiance Burn, though.
Yeah. I think the Radiance is very impactful in this game. Even in that last fight, which the Dire...
And that's the
they
tower.
had
That's the
such
last
upper hand,
one.
and they started it so well with that smoke rotation. And still, the Radiant managed to not get super destroyed simply because of that huge pickup in the Radiance, I think. That managed to get them
it burned down their
kills in
support
that fight.
so fast, too.
Yeah.
And they do
Also,
have the
this chance
exorcism up
really
again.
useful.
Are they thinking about going to Roche? Yeah, they're gonna go Roche. And I mean, Luna ulti's down. Like, most of their team fight right now, like, Luna's down, Spearbreaker's on the other side of the map. I mean, he can charge forward. We do have the the Disruptor ulti. They're all gonna start moving over here, though. I think they have a general idea that there's something going down in this pit, even though there's no ward really picking them out. And they're gonna back off.
Loving
here.
this item choice on Valina, though. The Ethelon's such a very strong item for this period of the game that this Lina is concretely trying to win in, and it provides her with so many things that she needs in this phase of the game right now. The magic resistance for really mostly the Radiance Burn and the Ogre. The extra range for initiating from a safer range, considering just
Well, you don't want Lina initiating,
how very fragile
though.
she is.
You want the Spearbreaker initiating. Because Lina is such a glass cannon.
Yeah, but this item, I think, the most important point about it is that it allows her to still dish out her damage when someone else has initiated from a safe distance, because even once they have that static field down, once they have those charge and bash targets locked down, it's still pretty easy for heroes like the Death Prophet, like the Dark Seer, and even like the Vengeful Spirit with swap and whatnot, to displace a lot of these heroes. So keeping out a safe range to cast all of these spells that are so impactful in fights like the Light Strike and the Laguna is super important for the Lina here. I love this item pickup.
And they're sitting on a smoke currently. And they are gonna see, they do have this ward, they are gonna spot out that they're all running around here for Roche, and they're checking. So we're gonna see a team fight here very shortly, I have a good feeling. Again, they do have that smoke too. And they smoked, so they're gonna try to go in on this. The This is a little bit dangerous. They don't have any vision, so they don't know exactly what they're walking into, deep into the what? Not dire, Radiant Jungle. And again, the bear just pushing as well. So they're gonna lose Luna right here. Luna's not gonna be following them in. That's not good. Undying is a little bit out of position. He's in a lot of trouble here. Trying to throw out, oh, there's the silence coming out on Die. They're gonna be able to throw Death Prophet up in the air. Wall's gonna come out. Still silence though. Here comes the ulti here. Throwing it out. Gonna be able to clean up the Luna, clean up the Disruptor. The Undying's falling. Here goes, wow, they really needed Luna there. And that's gonna be a free Roach. There's nothing that Luna can do solo about it. I'm not sure. I guess they just wanted to push out the wave, but that's gonna be a costly mistake.
A couple of worrying things for the Dire right here. That fight went as well as it did for the Radiant without the death from KB. It came in just as they were ending the fight and didn't even have to use it. She got an arcane rune to use with that exorcism, so that just means it'll be up again sooner for the next fight, for the next push, and now they have the Aegis to help with that. So again, just playing around these major item pickups and going for major objectives after successful team fights just seems to be the name of the game, and it probably will continue to be. And just a matter of how the Dire manage to deal with it.
We do have a BKB up completed on Luna now. And she does have her ulti at least, so when they come up here they do have, you know, that damage. It's level 2, so it's going to be doing a bit more. But it's going to be kind of a tough fight here with an Aegis, and they have great initiation coming out from Diaspora here with the swamp.
A bit surprising, but
he does have Aether Lens too on top of that, so he's got a bit extra range on it.
I think very indicative of how the game has been is the fact that the Darkseer is the hero with the most last hits in this game, because it's so very chaotic, it's so very action-packed. We've got so many fights, so many team fights, tower pushes, objectives gotten, and it's not even 30 minutes in yet. So these accidental last hits that happen with the Ion Shells.
So it's gonna go running, and then they're gonna swap out the Disruptor, immediately cleaning up, knowing that that silence is just driving them nuts. Luna's gonna run right in here, but she has to be careful because the DP ulti is all physical damage. It's gonna go right through the BKB. Guy had a little bit of trouble trying to move back. Did get Laguna Blade. There goes the Lina. Lina's gonna go down. There's the... we're gonna pop the BKB coming out here on the Death Prophet as well. Oh, Lone Druid's gonna fall, but he does have Aegis. And now the Death Prophet siphoning off. Gonna be able to clean up here. Silencing out. Cleaning up as well. Oh, poor Disruptor. Disruptor is in so much trouble. He's gonna fall to the Radiance. And Lina coming back in. And that's a dieback, I think, yeah? And easily.
Yeah, that's a dieback on
and
Luna.
the crazy thing with the Death Prophet ulti too is now she's back at full health.
Yep. She somehow made it past that entire team fight, past 5 heroes on very, very low HP, gets back to full right now, and we saw a lot of things kind of happen.
And they're gonna call GG coming out from YoungHawks. So the first game of the series going to YoungHawks here.
So in that last team fight, we had the Vent swapping in and then getting Yuled as soon as he was about to get killed. So that's one hero that the Dire couldn't get, and then after that, just Luna not being able to do a lot, considering how little farm she really had. And that's just the power of this early game death ball.
Alright, well, we're gonna go ahead and get started into game 2. We'll be right back.
Oh my god, I got in. Wow.
Alright guys, welcome back to the NotA Winter Tournament. We are casting Game 2 of Snackers versus YoungHawks. I'm casting today, obviously, as Moxie, and I have with me Madsen. He will be co-casting, and we're here in the draft, and we're already going to see the OD ban.
Radiant team ban.
Are these the same first bands?
These are
I
the
think
same
they are.
first bands. They do not want to see Carl, they do not want to see
Dire
OD.
team ban.
I don't know what OD's real name is, do you know? Oh, and there's the Death Prophet pick. They don't want Die High to get that again. That was too much. Also, just she's such a strong hero currently.
It's just such an overwhelming hero at this kind of stage of the game where most matches probably finish in this match. So this mid to late game phase, she's very strong. Easy to take objectives with her and just play around the big cooldowns, the big items, and play off that.
Alright, we're gonna see the Tusk ban here as well, which is something I was wondering about last game because he's been very, very heavily favored in the meta, especially in the NotA tournament as well. I've seen a lot of Tusk coming in. Not a lot of really successful Tusk, unfortunately, but he has been picked up quite a bit.
5 seconds remaining.
I think that's actually kind of something very specific to our tourney so far, is that we've got to see a lot of Tusk, both picked and banned, as we can see, but I don't think it's that strong of a hero anymore. Of course, you still have this amazing toolset that he has with so much control, but I don't think he's as strong as he was in the last couple patches.
And there's a Gyrocopter pickup right off the bat. It's a very popular carry currently. I think with the Tusk thing, Tusk is one of those heroes that literally needs to snowball. No pun intended. But I've been seeing a lot of Tusk roaming in the NotA games and not getting much actually done. And the other thing too is with Tusk, you know, a lot of people like to use Snowball as an initiation, but Snowball takes such a long time to wind up. You see it coming from a mile away. You can position yourselves exactly the way you want.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people don't really understand perfectly how to play Tusk on some mechanical levels, so that's probably the cause of some subpar Tusk performance here
absolutely,
there.
absolutely.
Because you can, there's drawbacks to skills, like sometimes there's a long wind up to the snowball, but you can release it immediately and to negate that, etc., etc. But again, so much less damage on the hero now than last patch.
They're going for a similar draft here. Well, we have, well, actually not really, because Undying was on the opposite team, but they've got the Vengeful Spirit and the Undying pickup here.
I think
First team Snackers.
Venge is a very pivotal pick right now in this patch, because the aura is just so strong. People are starting to realize exactly how strong it is and just how impactful it is.
I think your connection's going bad because I can't hear you clearly anymore.
10 seconds remaining.
You're going a little bit
I
robotic.
I have no idea what happened.
I don't know. We've got like a little buzz and a beep afterwards too.
Reserve time.
Hold up.
I'm gonna pick up the Spirit Breaker over on YoungHawks here. I'd like to see the Spirit Breaker maybe have a bit more mobility, go around for ganks a little bit earlier.
Team ban.
Because he sat in lane for quite a bit down in bottom. And I think he's so good if he gets like a level or two and then tries to go for some ganks.
10 seconds
Okay,
remaining.
is it any better now?
I'm still getting a little bit, but
5
it's
seconds
for
remaining.
1 minute it like went totally robotic.
Right.
But we'll see. We'll see
Again,
how it
I
goes.
don't.
They're gonna ban
I
out the
don't know, I
Drow Ranger.
don't-
Interesting. Again.
I don't think I personally value the Spirit Breaker as much as possibly the Dire here do, but I think it's definitely about their last 3 picks, so they have a lot of room to prove me wrong, basically.
They're gonna ban out the Lone Druid again. And they don't want to see the Wombo combo here. They're also gonna ban out the Ancient Apparition. Again, very common. I've been seeing the Gyrocopter AA with a Dark Seer pickup. Or throwing in, instead of the AA, occasionally getting in like the Earthshaker.
Yep.
That's been very, very popular this tournament. I mean, it's always been popular, but in a lot of the games I've cast, I've seen it pretty consecutively.
Reserve time.
I think again, I think both teams again have a very open draft. All four of those heroes picked so far can be
Crystal
played.
Maiden ban. What?
God knows. I mean,
They don't want
she's
them
a
to have too
strong
much mana, I guess.
hero. She's a pretty strong hero with both the Gyro and speed, but
Oh, we're gonna see a Die
That's
High
that.
Queen of Pain. Last game that he played with the NotA tournament, he had a Queen of Pain and he dominated the Zeus mid pretty badly. So that'll be fun to
Okay.
watch. What do you think we're gonna? I mean, obviously this draft is fairly open, but what do you think we're gonna be seeing in terms of a hard carryover in Snackers, or a mid for the YoungHawks?
5 seconds remaining.
Well, for the hard carry for the Radiant, I think they're gonna want to aim for something similar to the Solar Bear in terms of how fast it gets online and how fast it can start pushing, and something that goes along well with the Vengeful. Unless, of course, the Vengeful is the safe lane carry, which we do see sometimes happening. But again, they did run it as a support last time. I don't see any reason for them to change it up this time. So there's a lot of very strong heroes that have a lot of base damage and go off that.
I'm trying to remember,
maybe some-
one of the NotA games that I cast, they did run the Vengeful Spirit as a, was that your game?
Yeah,
that you ran the
ours.
Vengeful Spirit?
Yep.
That's right.
Reserve
I was like, yeah, they did very,
Yeah,
very
we-
well
we
with
did.
that.
Shh, don't leak our strats. Oh,
And the Viper
but the
pickup is a pretty
the
strong
Viper
pickup,
has-
honestly. I like that pickup for YoungHawks.
I don't know. We had a game, I think, a while back where we also picked up the Viper as, I think, a Queen of Pain counter, and it worked out pretty well. It's definitely up to the Queen of Pain to
dire
kind of tell what her limits are in that lane, and I think if both players are somewhat equal, I don't think there should be too much happening in that lane.
And they're gonna go for that vacuum combo again here.
Yeah, and at this time I think they even have even more to actually do with that vacuum wall. Honestly, with this Queen of Pain.
Your mic's going.
Oh.
Something's wrong with your connection or your mic or something.
Radiant team
I actually have no idea what's.
It actually like
Happened.
died out. Like you started to get really, really like just
Right.
disappear completely. I don't know if it's your mic or if it's your connection. Stream's actually mentioning that they're hearing a robotic sound coming off of you too. It's
10
pretty
seconds
strong.
remaining.
Okay, hold up.
But I agree with you definitely. You know, with the Darkseer vacuum into the Queen of Pain ulti, plus the fact you throw down a Tombstone. It's a pretty strong fight right there. I mean, they did pick up a Witch Doctor too, so if they're really bunched up, they can punish that. But it's all about positioning too, because if they land off Vacuum Wall with Queen of Pain ulti, like Witch Doctor's gonna get eaten alive really, really fast.
Okay, is it any better now?
I don't know. You only said like one thing, so
10 seconds remaining.
Oh god.
Juggernaut pickup. All right.
There we go.
Dire team pick.
This is a really solid team coming out from Snackers. I like their draft a lot.
Yeah, it's very coherent, cohesive, works very well together, and I think they have a lot of potential in team fights and pushes.
So now they just have
Getting
to
any
figure it out.
better?
It's a little bit better. I'm not hearing that robotic like beep
Okay.
at the end now.
Okay. I literally have no idea
5
what's happening.
seconds remaining.
I don't know. Do you have this problem often, or?
Reserve
No,
time.
that's why I'm so confused by it. I just hope it doesn't persist past this.
It's your internet. It's like it's way too late where we live. You need to go to bed.
Yeah. I mean, no one uses the internet past 3 a.m.
Except for creepers and Dota casters, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one and the same, really.
There you heard it, guys. Straight from Madson's mouth. He's a creeper and a Dota
Yeah.
caster.
Hey, I'm a Dota co-caster. Don't put any of the blame
Oh
on
no,
me.
it's back.
Oh God.
So we just need one more pick. And they're gonna get the Centaur Warrunner here, so that'll be a really good either initiation, or if they get that really good vacuum off, he can run away and get his teams kind of spread out. But alright, so here we are, Game 2, NotA Winter Tournament. We have Snackers versus the YoungHawks over on the Dire. We have Tonight's Tonight playing Gyrocopter. Travesty will be playing our Viper. Highfly will be playing Witch Doctor. Dodo Made Me Gay will be playing Spirit Breaker. And Hanyolo will be playing our offlane Centaur Warrunner. Over on the Radiant, we have Team Snackers. We have DX Penguin, who is going to be playing our Darkseer. Die High will be playing our Queen of Pain, Civ will be playing our Undying, Vanadium will be playing our Jug, and Diaspora will be playing our Vengeful Spirit yet again. We've got some all-chat banter here. And we're gonna see people are making their way. 3 of the Snackers will be going to top rune, whereas 2 will be going bot. And it looks like, again, the YoungHawks will be going for that top rune, all 5.
30 seconds to battle.
Which means that Vanadium should easily be able to get this rune.
I'm interested to see Vanadium might consider leaving the bottom room for the Queen of Pain to just make her way over.
Okay, there you go. I think it's your mic. Because it cuts out, like, it gets really, really quiet for, like, a couple seconds and then comes back up. And I don't think that'd be the internet connection. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to see a little bit of a scuffle here for top rune. They're going to go immediately and over onto the Darkseer. Going to go ahead and throw out the Viper. Oh, DX Penguin in a lot of trouble! I think he's going to fall. Yeah, First Blood's going to go to the Viper, actually, killing DX Penguin. Die High seeing all that happening and was like, nope, I'm out. Immediately blinks out. And Civ having thrown down the tombstone, but it's just not enough with all of them there. Gyrocopter can put out so much damage so fast really early, and especially the Viper, you know, with all that slow. And apparently the only thing in the fight recap is an observer ward, so that's pretty fun.
Yeah, after that, the rocket barrage and the charge, there wasn't too much happening.
No, he was a goner. Unfortunately. And Viper already has boots now. Although the Spiritbreaker is calling Courier? What is he getting off a Courier? Is it a ward? It's a stick. He's getting a stick, which he could have bought at Side Shop.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, Viper doesn't have something he really needs to desperately rush in the mid lane like some.
No,
some
it's not like
need
he's going bottle or something, yeah.
I think interestingly enough, Snackers again let them rather than
losing you again. I have no idea what you're saying.
My god, I'm getting desperate.
I don't know what's happening. I'm sorry, dude. So where do you think we're gonna see First Blood? I think we're gonna possibly see First Blood coming in bottom if they go on like the Vengeful Spirit. Just because they do have the charge and then they have the other stun coming out from Centaur. Although top lane's playing very, very aggressive, which I need to be a little bit careful of just because of the fact that Gyrocopter can dish out a lot of damage really fast. They're gonna throw up the tombstone here. I don't think that was quite... Oh, they're gonna throw the ion shell into the creep. They're chasing after him. Oh, wow! Tonight's tonight! I don't think... Oh, and they're gonna get charged here. DX Penguin has to be really careful. Oh, it's gonna take Spirit Breaker a million years to get over here, though, so they might want to just cancel that charge. Civ's staying kind of low, though. And, he's gonna just run himself out. Meanwhile, Civ trying to run away. Penguin coming back in. Gyrocopter does not have the mana. Look at this Space Cow from like a million miles away. Still gotta come running in here. Chasing after DX Penguin. Gonna get a bash off. Immediately gonna just Ion Shell. And, get away here. The world's longest charge, right? Level 1 charge from the other side of the map. Meanwhile, Viper doing a pretty good job here in mid lane, is leading with the CS, sitting at 15-1, whereas Die High sitting at 11-2. But I mean, that's to be expected. It is a Viper. Viper typically tends to win his game. It's not game, sorry, lane. Invisrun sitting bottom. And DX Penguin running a little bit low on mana here, so he's got to be careful. Although, Civ is back, is sitting in well, so... And Ven just picked up an Invis rune. Not sure if she's thinking about going to gank. Yeah, she's gonna go mid. We're gonna see a gank come out here on Viper, and we're also gonna see the Undying TP mid as well. they're going to be relying on that bench initiation. And he did bring the bottle for Die High as well. Civ just running right up to him, not afraid. Gonna throw up the tombstone. Die High's gonna zoom in. Right click. We're gonna see the charge come out. Shadow Strike doing a lot of damage. Oh, he needs one more click. One more click. Civ gonna be able to seal the deal. Civ's gonna fall here though for that. And see the Spear Breaker come in and actually be able to not get the kill. Actually, it's gonna go to Viper because of the poison. And Daihat's going to be able to go bottom, refill his bottle using the illusion rune. There's a bounty room available top. Penguin Man having a little bit more of a difficult time in this lane now because of the fact that both of them are ranged. Running low on mana. Does have the soul ring completed, just needs to get the courier at some point here. It seems like Madsen has disconnected, unfortunately. Meanwhile, bot lane, we're gonna see them trying to go over here onto the Centaur, and they're immediately gonna get counter-initiated on. Juggernaut trying to clean up here, chasing after the Centaur. Ah, it does look like they're gonna be able to clean him up. There we go. Last hit's gonna go to the Vengeful Spirit. Vengeful Spirit needs to be careful. Running away here. Is gonna make it out just fine.
Better. Is this any better?
I don't hear you very loudly right now. I don't know. It's
Okay,
Are you using something different?
Yeah, I'm on my phone now, but could be, I guess, a bit better.
It's just really quiet now.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to speak up a bit, but
So, for those of you, if anyone's watching in Dota TV, I am not crazy. I'm talking to Madsen via Discord. He just is not able to, Are you able to still talk within game, yeah?
No. I can't actually access in-game with Discord on mobile. I was using my my desktop mic, but yeah.
Yeah, it's really difficult to hear you. I'll see if I can turn you up in a sec. And we're gonna see the charge coming across from the bottom lane again, trying to go over here onto Civ. Civ doesn't seem really aware of it. Is gonna back off though, which seems to be the right choice here. And he's still going. Spearbreaker still charging. They're still gonna go in on this. Here he comes, gonna land onto Civ. Civ's gonna get the bash. Here comes the Witch Doctor throwing out the cast. Castle's gonna bounce off. They're gonna try to throw up the tombstone. Is it gonna be enough though? Civ is gonna probably go down here. I don't think. Yeah, there we go. Witch Doctor is gonna be able to clean up here.
That's a free tombstone as well. That's 150 gold.
Yeah, that was a good
Not
fight
really
for the YoungHawks. Alright, let's see if we can turn him up. Is there any way to turn up Madsen here? Okay, I've turned you up to like 200%, so that's a little bit
Should be
better.
a bit better.
Oh, Daihat gonna be able to kill the Viper here! Oh no! He's gonna fall as well. He's gonna get the experience though.
Now, that's just how it works with the Viper. Even with the ulti committed, it's
not a free kill.
Still a trade.
Double damage rune available too over on the Spirit Breaker. Not sure if he's gonna try to go for a charge. Might just be going for some levels and some last hits here in lane.
Although it's very interesting to see how the impacts of the first game are showing in the second game, because the Dire are really stressing that they win their safe lane. So they're trying to minimize the impact of DX Penguin and Civ. But by doing that, we now have the Jug, who's basically highest net worth and only matched by the Viper on the enemy team.
Unquap's gonna come in here, gonna be able to clean up on the Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter's gonna fall, not able to go after the Witch Doctor. But they are able to take off the safe lane carry here. Meanwhile, bot rune, nope, not bot rune, bot lane. Spearbreaker down here, taking a couple pop shots from Vanadium. And again, Jug just having the time of his life farming down here.
Especially with that kill on the enemy Gyrocopter, the gap between him and Jug is just getting bigger and bigger. But even though they have two heroes down on this lane, it's just very hard to do anything to this Jug. And he's gonna go into the somewhat expected by now Battle Fury build.
And it looks like Viper is going to be going mech here. He does have the headdress completed. Does need to get the courier, though. And they do have vision over here, over on the Radiant side. So I can keep tabs on Die High. I am liking that the Spirit Breaker has been a lot more mobile this game, even though he has been, you know, taking a million years to cross the map.
Yep. I think it's very useful to have a TP as a Spirit Breaker, because then when you don't have your maxed out charge, you can just TP to a lane, and not only is it less likely to get spotted out by a ward, but it's also much sooner. You're much more able to join a fight than if you're charging across the entire map.
But he's gonna go for another charge from across the map here.
Yeah, but this isn't...
Coming over onto DX Penguin. Here comes the call down. Call down's gonna come down. Trying to clean up Civ. They are gonna be able to kill him. And we're still seeing the Space Cow running in here. He does have a South though, and he's got the Ion Shell. Is gonna cancel. Good call coming out from the Spirit Breaker here.
I actually love what the Quap is doing right here. She's trading in the lane, she's farming, she's making sure she doesn't fall behind Viper, basically. But at the same time, she has a smoke, she has 2 TPs, she has a rune bottled up, she has everything she needs to react if someone dives, and if she needs to react to any lane, which I love. This is what she needs to be doing, and she's doing just that. She's going TP with the Arcane Rune, ulti up,
and she's
smoke
gonna
up,
go sneak
there
up
we
there.
go.
They're going for another kill on this gyrocopter.
Gyrocopter even decayed.
There she is, gonna go right in there. Gonna go ahead and scream. Oh, they need another hit on him. Gonna be able to take him down. Gonna be able to take down the Witch Doctor too. Definitely worth the smoke and time that just got placed into that. Nicely played by Die-High. Meanwhile, in mid, we do see that middle tower is gonna fall. Travesty able to clean up. Here comes Vanadium, trying to go and get this kill. There's the stun coming out. Just gonna whirl around him. Using the Fairy Fire, not gonna be able to make it out though. Nice rotations coming out, and that's a kill for Jug, which is gonna be really helpful. I mean, he's already farming well, but on top of that, you know, having another kill. And they're going to be able to take top as well. Spirit Breaker is charging in. Civ might be in a bit of trouble here, because Gyrocopter's going to come in immediately, throw out the call down. Going to be able to throw out the wall, throwing them back here again. Die-High turning back in. Do need to be careful, they've got a lot of people coming up now. Die-High in a bit of trouble, he's going to get fall. Oh no! There goes the Darkseer as well, and Civ's in trouble. Civ's gonna fall. Diaspora looks like she's not gonna be able to get out here either with the Vengeful Spirit. Yeah, there we go. And that's a 4-man wipe from Snackers. Like, excellent reaction coming back in with the TPs and turning it around, being able to help Darrow out here a little bit, get a couple kills under his belt, and they're gonna be able to take tower now.
Yeah, I think they weren't really expecting them to be able to react to that.
Space Cow's going on the Juggernaut. Is going to be able to... Oh, no, it's going to miss the last hit. Does not have his ultimate available here. Needs to be kind of careful. And, Spirit Breaker's going to cancel.
NTP.
Oh, bottom lane. Looks like Die-High was trying to go after Centaur.
Top lane is he dead?
I
He may be dead off the malady.
No, I think he's going to be okay. Really? No, yeah, you're right. Was Venge going to try to deny him? Can you deny off a Maledict? I forget.
I'm pretty sure you can't. I'm pretty sure. At least. I'm not 100%, but I think you can. I think Shadow Strike off Quap and the Poison, the Poison Gale off Venomancer are the 2 big ones. Other than Doom, obviously.
And we do see a double damage rune as top. Doesn't seem like anyone has really noticed it quite yet. And they are going to throw that sentry down, just making sure that they don't have vision here. Just because that's all that the Space Cow really needs is some vision for going on really squishy people.
Juggernaut, meanwhile, well on his way to a 14 to 15 minute battle period. But not only that, but he's very close to level 11, while the next highest is the Quap, who's, well, only just into level 9.
And Quap does have her Scream available. They're gonna throw up the Tombstone here, and he's gonna burn his ult. Run back to save himself. And Quap's still holding onto her Scream too.
No, the mech's done on Viper now. Just needs to get it shipped out on the courier.
And they're gonna notice that there's wards over here. Witch Doctor has his ultimate available here. They've got a Viper Strike. They don't have the Centaur Initiation here, but it looks like they're thinking about pushing. And Daihai's gonna just kind of hang out in the trees here, waiting for that opportune moment to just kind of swoop in. Is looking like he's gonna be going for the Orchid build. Civ needs to be careful. He's kind of in a bad position. Does not have Tombstone up. And Juggernaut is not with them. This would be a very good fight to take for the YoungHawks. Gonna get the swap off immediately.
They now have...
But they're gonna go and counter initiate the call down's gonna come down. Here comes the wild. They're gonna be able to throw out the Scream. Scream's coming out. They're cleaning up here, but Daihai's gonna fall to the center. Civ trying his best, gonna be able to take down Gyrocopter. Trying really hard, but that Viper just too strong. He's too strong early. We're gonna have the Jug come in. Oh wow, and he charged onto the catapult, canceling the...
Go for them?
Oh, no, they're gonna be able to take him. There we go. But still, that's 4 heroes for 3.
Not worth, yeah.
Not worth. Should have probably TP'd earlier.
He was actually coming back from jungle, so he was waiting to get enough mana for like at least a spin Omni Slash after his TP, and that took a while. And by the time he got that,
and he's gonna battle
basically most of his team was dead. Yep, he does have his battle fury at an excellent timing, and he did just pick up a kill. So as far as Juggernaut goes, it's worth it, and if he keeps just farming and going up in net worth steadily as he is, I think it's going to be a relatively easy game for him, but it's still very dependent on...
Oh wow, they're actually going to burn the Centaur ulti here. I don't think that was necessary, personally, but...
Yeah.
And he's going to run right back in again. Interesting. Han YOLO, living up to his name. And it looks like Witch Doctor's going to be going for a Glimmer Cape as his first item.
Battle Fury's up on Jug, or it's already been up for about a minute, but this is when we see his farm really get super fast.
Oh, they're going to try to do a charge coming in here on Civ. They're setting up for a fight, and they don't have all their ultimates up here either. They need to be really careful. They do have Tombstone at least. Do not have the Sonic Wave though. And here comes the call down. Call down's gonna come down immediately. Civ in a lot of trouble, gonna throw the Tombstone out, not gonna be able to do enough though. And they're fighting under Witch Doctor ulti. That is not something you want to do. Vanadium in a lot of trouble here, gonna get bashed.
Wow.
Throwing out the wall. This is not looking good for them. They don't have Sonic Wave. She's gonna be able to just pull out here. But they're still hot in pursuit. DX Penguin Man, Surge wearing off. They're gonna have the Spirit Breaker come and close the gap. And Gyrocopter's gonna get another kill. Triple kill.
They're calling this person triple kill because they got a triple kill.
Yeah, that's tough.
I think there was multiple elements to that. First of all, getting caught out, getting two very important heroes, in my opinion, the Darkseer and the Undying, getting caught out in the call down at first, so they were a bit far away and secluded from their team. But after that, they tried to commit into the Witch Doctor ulti, and after seeing, oh, okay, we cannot fight into this, they tried to back out of it, but they underestimated how huge the range is on it, so they just ended up dying without actually accomplishing anything, and that's just a very clean fight for the die-up as they lose to nobody.
Well, I mean, the positioning coming out from the Witch Doctor was really excellent there, just because, you know, Vengeful Spirit could not get close enough to actually hit him with a stun. I watched her actually stun the Centaur, which Centaur just took it in the face like a champ.
Yeah. But they're doing a very important thing for them here in playing around their big item timings, which was the mech for the Dire on the Viper now. And after that, they've
there's a
taken
blink
out
pickup
two big
now
team
on
fights.
the Centaur Warrunner. That's going to be a really good initiation for them.
And once they have once they have more mana up on the Viper to have another mech up, they get more mana on the Gyro as well to get the call down and rocket barrage and whatnot. They're going to be able to go in very soon again, and it's just
we have a
matter
Dragon
of
Lance over here on Viper too. Interesting.
Yep. It's going to be a matter of how well can the Radiant respond to that, and considering that the Drake has been going for more of a farmy build-up, it's very questionable.
There's going to be a charge coming out here on Die High top.
We're going to need to see really good combo play out of the Radiant to win 2 fights, I think, right now. With the Vacuum Wall, Sonic Wave, Omni Slash.
Well, it's interesting that, you know, the Quap is deciding to go for the Orchid here. Oh, she's gonna back off. Oh, there's this invisible Spirit Breaker. That's never a good thing. Just because, like, I feel like she's trying to go for, you know, pickoffs, but they've been really kind of all together for the most part whenever they come in.
Yep. And that's, again, coming back to the the point is kind of we have a bit of a meta in the tournament where we have this.
Oh, he's gonna be able to notice that he's coming over here. The sentry ward's gonna stick him out. He's gonna go on ulti. He's gonna be able to clean him up. That poor Space Cow had no idea what just hit him there. What are the chances, right?
Yep. And basically with what's happening in the tournament, with all of these very early Death Volley lineups, I don't think this Orchid is quite the call. Of course, it's still a good item in teamfights, because you can silence a very key target, maybe get a silence on the Witch Doctor or on the Centaur, and that's really important. But I think if you got something like an Agadance first, which gives you a lot of HP, it gives you a lot of mana, and a lot of teamfight presence with this 40-second cooldown, it's super important. It gives you a lot more potential to fight earlier on, and you can still pick up an Orchid for that key target later on, and maybe even decide that you can get something bigger like Hex or something like that.
We're gonna see a smoke come out here over on the Space Cow. I think that typically tends to want to go for an Ags early. I'm not sure what made him decide for this particular game to go for the Orchid, but maybe for the Space Cow, I don't know.
I mean, in comparison to the last game, the early game was slightly, I guess, less looking like it would be as Death Volley, but we're gonna see a smoke for the Dire, who last game had a very similar smoke, and it ended very well for them. I think they got 3 or 4 kills off of that, and while they did lose it, it was...
There's no one in the jungle here, though. They're not gonna find anyone. They're gonna have to wrap around and go into mid.
It's a matter of who they catch out, and I think they're gonna catch out the
patch out TXP, and they're gonna be. Oh, he's gonna miss the stop though! Sim's stuck out here. He's gonna get donked over by that. He's gonna get the Viper Strike. Trying to finish that up here. Poor Civ trying to run away. Just does not want it, and that's a failed smoke there. It was almost a good lineup there, but unfortunately the Centaur.
That's still.
Did something cancel his blink, or did he just misjudge?
I think it was just the Darkseer looking at like he would continue walking forward, and then he just went back. That's all, and that was so lucky, I guess, because it not only did the hoof stomp miss, but they also dodged the
call down
entirely.
Yeah. We're gonna see a BKB as the next item over on the gyrocopter here. We haven't seen much item progression over here on Viper in quite a bit. I'm not sure what he's thinking, if he's gonna be going like for a Sanjinyasha build or BKB.
Well, I think one of the things with the new Dragonlance item is that very few people actually decide to just stick with it. I think the main use of it is to just disassemble it later on, and usually it's something like a BKB and a Butterfly, which is both are very good items on Viper, but it still remains to be seen what he's going to get. And he's sending the curry out to Secret Shop.
Interesting.
So yeah, might be working on. I think he might be working on that Butterfly.
Yeah, he's gonna get the evasion. Yeah.
Talisman, yeah. Prove me right. Okay. Who's just sending it out?
It's just leaving.
Gyro, I think. Probably sent it out for. Nah, Gyro's just getting.
Gyro's gonna get Sanjinyasha here. Yeah. We're gonna see Chainmail also over here on the Centaur. So it's literally just gonna throw his body out though. And the Witch Doctor does have the completed Glimmer Cape as well, so. Nice item progression here. Looks like Ben's just thinking about going for a medallion if I had to guess. Could also be an urn. Probably medallion though.
Yep. I think right now Dire is on a bit of a timer, because this Jug is, with the farm speed he has, he's going to reach somewhat critical mass pretty soon. And he's still blowing a lot of their heroes out of the water as far as net worth goes, but it's just a matter of teamfight execution until he gets way too big well, big enough to be able to deal with multiple heroes by himself.
We do have a completed Orchid as well over here on Die High. They're looking. They definitely noticed that Viper's over there, and they're kind of surrounding the Roche pit, but not gonna do anything about it.
And yeah, it's the Talisman on Viper, so probably if I had to guess, it'd be Butterfly. Or even Halberd.
That's what I was about to say. Do you think it's going to be a Halberd?
Yeah, I mean, what do you do with the quarterstaff then? It's the main question. It's 450 gold. That's
true, because you could
do anything with.
He
like,
could
if you
disassemble
sold
if
it,
he wanted with the Dragon Lance.
I think the preferred build-up is to assemble the Dragon Lance, get a Butterfly, and get a BKB, and then he's used up all his slots efficiently and in a way that actually contributes to him.
And Jug kind of just hanging out down here. Using that for vision. Interesting.
I haven't actually seen that done, but I like that. He's scouting
Next
the road
level, right?
Everyone missing. Yeah, I like that.
Which is interesting because they did have a ward down here before coming off from the Dire, and they did spot him out for a brief second before the ward actually went down. Oh, he is gonna take a look here. They are gonna notice that Juggernaut is low. Gonna TP out.
Juggernaut low. He's level 16 now. He's got that level 3 Omni Slash. Two very big items in the Battle Fury and Deathmark.
And he's sitting at the top right now at level 16. Gyrocopter sitting at 14 along with Viper, but that level 16 is pretty big.
So I think Jug has a lot of very interesting item choices you can go into now. You might get some kind of lifesteal, preferably something like an HOTD for that for that Satanic later on in the game. Maybe a Skadi, since he already has your Venom and he hasn't decided to get rid of it even though he has 2k gold. Maybe something like an Abyssal, so starting with a Basher or something like that. But yeah, he has a lot of bank. He's got something, has he? Nope.
And the Venge has Dust this time. She's realized that the Witch Doctor does have a Glimmer Cape. Hopefully we'll be able to get in close enough though so she can use it, because there's a lot of things standing in her way.
DD in the bottle for the Queen of Pain. So they're looking like they're ready to fight.
They're looking like they want to go on this Gyrocopter.
17 actually.
Here comes Jug, just gonna come around. Oh, he's trying to get him. Trying to speed him up. Oh, Ghost Scepter!
Oh my god!
Pick up on the Gyrocopter. Wow, yeah, I was not expecting that.
That is
I didn't notice that he picked it up.
That is the only person I hadn't really checked since he got that. Wow. Okay, that's actually really good. That's great.
That's a smart call.
I actually don't see that very often. I'm impressed by that.
I usually see a Manta pick up or something like that, so that way they can, have a couple extra bodies for it to hit against. But
yeah, but even then, with the battle period, it doesn't matter too much.
Oh, they're gonna put Civ out here. They're gonna go and bash him. Get a couple bashes off, throwing out the Viper Strike. Dead Civ. Travesty's gonna be able to pick up the kill. It's a good pickup.
So, the only major issue for the Gyrocopter as he tries to transition to the late game with the Ghost Scepter is kind of a limited item slot.
Yeah.
But then again, considering that he's gonna be kept alive so many times using that from the Omni Slash.
Oh, that's weird. I'm getting a bug where I can't see the haste rune on Spirit Breaker. And he's like a
correct
race
response
car.
from Jug. Correct response from Jug. He's getting the defusal. So now Ghost Scepter invalidated.
Interesting.
And I think this is very important for the Jug at this point. He had a lot of gold. He didn't really know what to buy because there's so many options. But he had all of the gold stockpiled, so why not just get the counter to... Yeah.
Interesting how they're just doing a lot of reactionary builds too right now.
Yeah. I like that.
But I mean, the Diffusal Blade is still very good on Juggernaut, either way.
Yeah, it's a pretty good item, but like with most heroes, a Diffusal is an item where you'd rather not build it, but if it's good that game, you're gonna feel very secure and very safe building it. But
well, I mean, on him,
there's a better.
Yeah, on Juggernaut, I mean, I would like to see, a Basher to Abyssal, but at the same time, it's not the worst pickup in the world on him. It makes more sense than, the Silence is going to be coming out, going in. That's a Glimmer Cloak on him. It's going to Dust, clean up the Spirit Breaker in mid.
That's a whip on the Sonic Wave. So
and I believe, was that that was the Centaur ulti as well. Centaur ulti's down.
Yeah.
So that's a big win for them. They can take the tower a little bit easier. Here comes the call down. Stun's gonna come out here from the Vengeful Spirit. Juggernaut gonna come around, spin around here.
No
look at that! Look at that vacuum! And the Doctor's gonna come out. They're gonna try to go. Witch Doctor's gonna fall, and they're going after Viper. Viper almost falling here. Diffusal coming out, gonna clean up Vanadium. Oh my goodness. is gonna get ulted by the, Ooh, they're gonna speed him up. Might be a little risky going in here. He does not have an Aegis or anything. Trying to get out. Gonna get the stun off. Trying to bat. Oh, there's the save coming out from Civ. Gonna get the tower. They can keep going here. I mean, Gyro's up, but he does not have ulti.
And there we see that incredible synergy. Even without the Sonic Wave, just an Omni Slash on top of that vacuum, just so
beautiful.
Good. Considering all of that damage on top of that battle tree, it's
gonna
be able to clean up heroes like that. Yep.
And we are seeing 2 parts of the Ags coming out for the Queen of Pain here.
I'm just gonna have it around the time that
they're all so low. Oh my gosh! Oh, that bash! That bash! I'm gonna get the save. They are gonna come over here though. Need to be careful. I don't think they have. Yeah, they don't have the vision. They just have a sentry ward up.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Playing a little dangerously there. Witch Doctor working on his Ags.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And again,
we are gonna see the butterfly coming out.
Yeah, but it's very important to note again. Jug sitting on a huge gold pile, on a huge pile of gold. As soon as he scouts out that talisman, he's just going to be able to go into that MKB with no issue. Well, because he doesn't really feel pressured right now to get into trade any of his spots, other than maybe the cola for a TP. Yep. And now he's basically slotted. He's just going to wait to really think about what his next item should be while he has the Sages. And after it runs out, he's going to be able to make...
You're going to see Han YOLO here, and he's going to blink out. Just run away there.
And Butterfly going to come out in a bit as the crew heads over to Secret Shop. We're actually starting on his Aghanim's, so that's going to be a very big damage output. But I think it depends heavily on the Dire actually getting some of their things.
We're gonna see smokes come out from 2 different people over here. On the same team. I'm not sure why both of them bought that at the same time, but... I think we're gonna see an Aetherland. Looks like an Aetherland's revenge, yeah?
Yeah, probably.
Because she does have that casual Sage's mask, but...
probably
just for the meta region.
Yeah.
It looks like they think about smoking. Are they gonna smoke it? Yeah, they're both gonna smoke. This is gonna be interesting to see who smoke breaks first. And we do have the Ags on the Queen of Pain now. That's a big item pickup. And she's almost 16 as well. Like ships passing in the night.
It's very possible that the Radiant Observer saw the edge of that smoke if they were very observant at that point, but I doubt it considering they...
No, it doesn't view it. It doesn't view it that close if you change the Fog of War.
No. Yeah.
And they're looking. They're not gonna just spending some time in each other's jungles. Maybe think about taking the tower.
Yeah, but see, this is the difference. The Radiant can just continue pushing and the Dire...
They don't have the creeps.
Well, now they can. Now they can, but I think with this Jug and his massive 5k gold stockpile.
And here come the TPs.
They're gonna react, but...
There's gonna be the Spirit Breaker coming forward right away. Oh, again going onto the gyrocopter. Swap's gonna come out. Oh, I'm not sure about... They're gonna be able to still clean up the gyrocopter. Not an issue. They do have the ability here coming out. Native's in a little bit of trouble here. Witch Doctor ulti coming out. Does have the Glimmer Cape. Queen of Pain coming forward to clean up, but they need to dust. Dust is too far back. Then just hiding in the trees like, oh god, guys, please help me. Sun's gonna come out. Natum's gonna go smack around the Viper. Gonna be able to clean him up. In fact, Daiha's gonna be able to pick up the kill. And that's all 5 of the Dire heroes are down.
Now Jug very definitely saw those misses on the Viper, and he's gonna know.
Yeah, he can just go straight on PB if he wants.
If there is one, considering they just team wiped them, only one of them has buyback, and
look at the net worth too on the Juggernaut's sitting at 20,000 gold lead, like, or not lead, but like total. It's huge. And if you look at the charts too, if you go ahead and look at net worth, also the experience, like it's heavily in Snacker's favor at this point.